really an unbelievable feel to it, and that's what you want to have in these events. And though the person may not have been close, they may have experienced when you're there with 300,000 people. I'll give you an example. When Greg was at Washington on the National Mall for the 9/12 project, and I was here and we were doing call-ins, and Greg and I were talking back and forth, that is one thing I could keep sensing from him and sharing with the audience was the excitement, the enthusiasm, the camaraderie that happens from one of these events can just be absolutely enormous. And then that becomes the event, not the speakers. Is that becomes part of the event. So hopefully that's what happened with the Glenn Beck event. Again, I'm not sure if I would have done the MLK Day speech. I think that was a little finger in the eye kind of thing. I can see what he was trying to do, but I'm not sure if that accomplished it. I think there are other ways he could have done that. He became iconic and somebody you could throw stones at. One thing I didn't know is I didn't know Glenn Beck was a Mormon until I saw the post-rally interview that he did on Fox, and I thought that was interesting. And I knew about his coming to Christ and to his alcoholism and just the different things that have happened in his life, but I didn't know about that portion of it. That doesn't scare me at all. A lot of Dick Wirthlin, Reagan's pollster, David Fisher, personal aide, Steve Studdard, the former first director of advance for Ronald Reagan, were all Mormons. He had a group around him that were Mormon, and all fabulous people, all just great families and very dedicated to the president. 272-9228, News Talk Radio. Dan Morris in the house from Morris and Montiel. Going to be back right after this. 7:52 in the morning time. News Talk 107.9 FM. It's Morris and Montiel. Hey, guess who I ran into yesterday? Tim James at Costco. Get your motor running. He was with his lovely bride coming out, and we had a great conversation and, talked for a while, kind of asked him what he was doing and different things, invited him to come in to the show and or go have lunch, and he said he may try both. But let me tell you something on Tim James. That is somebody I believe you're going to see again because his age, and here's going to be the key, is when I first met him when he ran in 2002, is that right, 2002, he was a different candidate in 2010 than he was in 2002. I was a big Tim James guy when I first met him. We had him on the show an awful lot, and he learned a lot and matured a lot politically from the 2002 to 2010. I walked out of the room and said, that is a completely different guy. He's got it. He's speaking in short, concise terms. He has conviction about what he feels. Now the next question is if he runs in 2014 or 2018, did he learn from his 2010 experience? And if he learned and he's got it and he can kind of move on and realize what the mistakes were, that guy could very easily be the next governor of the state of Alabama. News Talk 107.9 FM. Is it Chris? Is that who I've got? Chris, you're on board Morris and Montiel.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller, but a long-time listener.
Hey, let's, hold on, let me get you some applause here. Hold on, Jay. Give him some applause. Chris, well, congratulations, buddy. Tell me your month and day of birth.
December the 11th.
December the 11th. I have your name in for the drawing for the Peppertree Steak and Wine gift basket. We'll do that on Wednesday from 9 to 10, so listen in. Chris, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sounds good. Well, I live in the Millbrook area. I'm a manager here, and I work in the Montgomery area, actually, community. But I was actually at the 828 rally.
Super! Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. If you will, I was in the back left corner, right at the corner of the reflecting pond, and it was crowded in there. You were at the end of the reflecting pool by the World War II monument. Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir. The World War II monument was right behind me.
See, I think it would have been better to have done it there in front of that monument, looking into Washington Monument than where he did it. But that was just my old advanced man stuff coming out. So tell me about it. What was the feel there?
the feel.
And by the way, I saw you on TV.
Did you really?
From an aerial shot. Okay.
The feel to me was just amazing. It was more of a religious feel than it was political. To me, it was more of a personal, religious feeling than it was like a Tea Party rally or anything like that. Granted, there were a lot of Tea Party people there, but it wasn't like it was a Tea Party rally at all. It was more or less, we need to restore honor. We need to restore God in our public and our private lives. I'm sure I think most people probably heard the words that were said, but just to be there and to experience it was absolutely amazing.
Well,
go ahead.
So you could feel the religious piece of it. Did that change when you got there? Did you expect that? And once you had gotten that feeling, how did that hit you?
I did expect it, but it truly was overwhelming to see that many people with at least a like mind on that one aspect, that we could all unite under that same, aspect or banner, if you will, of hey, we need to restore honor in our lives, in our private, public, everything. And the cool thing about it wasn't like we were sitting there saying, oh, Washington's the problem, or the Democrats or the Republicans are the problem. We were sitting there saying, you know what? We need to start with ourselves right now.
Hey, hold on. Applause, Jay. Applause. That is it. Let me tell you, you know who the problem is? We're the problem. We are the problem because we have to change ourselves, change our hearts, change our minds. Our churches are not doing it, and we have got to start moving it. I hate to say this, but the apostolic action may actually start coming from talk radio, or may come from radio and media, that some people may start saying some things, and this is kind of one of those aha moments here. Rush Limbaugh, what he started with the conservative movement some 15 years ago with the verbiage that was out there that he used, it may transform into a religious apostolic fervor that's out there that this country sorely needs if the churches don't do it. And I'm worried the churches are too focused on buildings and not focused on hearts and minds.
Exactly.
Well, Michael, thank you very much for calling. I really appreciate it. How did you go there, by the way, before I let you go?
It was an amazing miracle. I bought plane tickets Thursday night. Late Thursday night, I bought
You are kidding me.
No, sir.
Where did you fly into?
I flew from Atlanta to Dulles. I stayed with my brother who lives there in Leesburg, and we took the subway or the train on into D.C. It was just amazing that it all actually worked out kind of last minute. My father lives in Phoenix, Arizona. My brother lives in Leesburg, and I live here in Montgomery, and we all came together to go to 828.
That is incredible. Now, when you took the Metro in, where did you come up, and how crowded was the Metro?
The Metro was insane. I mean, I'm talking shoulder to shoulder. You could not budge or breathe. But everybody there was so nice. It didn't feel like you were riding the big city train. I mean, everybody was talking, having a great time. I was sitting in the Atlanta airport at 3:30 in the morning having a 2-hour-long conversation with the nicest couple I've met in my life, because they were going to 828. They had on their Restoring Honor shirt. I mean, it was just amazing to see that many like-minded people.
Well, I'll tell you something that and talking to some people in Washington, D.C. that were talking about this, is that it really did. It had a real coming together sense. And these are some church friends of mine, said that it really, you could feel a difference. And as he said, it wasn't about Glenn Beck. It really was about us, and that we need to change our hearts and minds. So, Chris, thank you very, very much, my friend. Have a great day. Got your name in for that Pepper Tree Steak and Wine. Good luck with that. Listen in on Wednesday. Hope you win. Those steaks are going to be great. Okay, News Talk 107.9. If you want to get your shots in, going to the top of the hour break, 272-9228, 1-800-289-9228.